today's world. Usher in new earth by living in your sacred heart. Quantum Conversations is brought to you by AcousticHealth.com, home of music from the universe, online healing retreats, and this program. Claim your free registration to daily shows at AcousticHealth.com. AcousticHealth.com, your portal to the inner realms. Our program starts shortly. Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this heart space today. We are going to hear from the masters who offer us information, suggestions on what we can do every day to sustain our 5D light consciousness, to truly stay in alignment. My guest today is a Diamond Light Code transmitter, and she actually works with the multi-dimensions of the crystal grid systems, and she connects and communicates to a deeper level of infinite oneness consciousness. Nora WalksInSpirit is with us once again on this quantum conversation, and we are preparing for the 555 gateway, no matter where you are in time and space. Before, during, or after this 555 gateway, we welcome you too. Let's bring in Nora with a big hug and love squeeze. Hello, Nora.
Hi there, Loren, and hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm so happy to be here tonight and get ready for the excitement of what the masters are going to be sharing with us. Be really
beautiful. It is really exciting. We're going to ask if anyone of the masters wants to come forward today for a message. We'll get there. You bring through beautiful beings. We were checking in with you. Let's do that first. Many have reported in the past few weeks, let's say 3 weeks, about 3-week window now, that the energies started to shift. And there's something going on. Give us your perspective, Nora. There's a new beam of light now on the planet.
Yeah, my voice is already changing in the frequency. That's when these higher beings start coming in now. And it for me, there was it was like a portal opening. A whole, I guess you'd say, like a doorway. They kind of said to me, there are corridors and passageways of grid systems of time that are coming onto the planet to elevate the consciousness back into the higher vibrations of oneness. And so, since this last few months, we've been really elevating and shifting, and our body that's been feeling so dense from before is now starting to shift into a lighter consciousness. And it feels to me that in this past 3 weeks that the crystal grid systems have now started pouring through onto Gaia's ley lines and grid lines, and everything, all of her kingdoms, all of her elements are really receiving this higher intelligence. And so our minds are moving and tapping into the higher consciousness. So for me, when I'm moving into the higher consciousness, I gathered into a different connection of a higher vibration, of a different consciousness. It's more of a quantum field of science of the mind, atomic structure, builders of form. This is a whole different quadrant of masters that are now speaking through me. And it did just come through around that Holy Christ Easter weekend.
Yes. Beautiful. Well, you are corroborating what we've heard from others. And it's interesting that you mentioned this new grid systems of time for oneness, because it was reported by another seer that it was as if negative, lower density timelines were wiped out. So that's beautiful that we are in this higher intelligence and that we are tapping into a higher consciousness. So here we are on this 555 gateway. Can you share the significance of this very unique and rare gateway?
Yeah, you know, I'm glad you asked me that, because I was trying to understand when it came through to me about the 5-5 gateway, because I only heard 5-5, 5-5. And when I heard the voice saying it like that, 5-5, 5-5, it was a mirror of one of the 5. So how you make the number 5 on the piece of paper, and then you make a mirror image of a 5 facing it. The two 5s mirroring one another, it creates one line across the top, one line going down, and when the circle of the one half and circle of the other half, the 5, come together, it very much looks like a keyhole. And so they gave me these mirroring of the two 5s creating this passageway arrives on a 5th dimensional consciousness. That's the third 5. And so it was just like looking at the symbol, because the masters work with symbols and ratios of numbers and codes. And so when you put the two 5s and you create what looks to be a symbol of a keyhole, the circle is the passageway going into infinities of grid systems of time. So it is a very, very powerful gateway. The third 5 is when you're on top of that platform that they showed me. There's the circle with the line and then the platform on top. It's going into the 5th dimension beyond, meaning that we are in this passageway of the 5th dimension on this planet, and the gateways of all grid systems are open when you're on that platform of the 5th dimensional consciousness. And so it's a very, very positive, exciting portal, because most gateways are portals and passageways, but this actually symbolically, they came in and they wrote the number, basically in my mind, and showed me how it created that keyhole symbol, and said, now you are moving through these heightened perimeters of grid systems of time. And so it's really, now that we can just be still, we're really having to listen. And this is where we are every day now. If you listen, there's new bandwidths and of sounds of the light. And these are quantum light particles that's in these sounds that are vibrating in the stillness. And so if that's what's happening with when you're sitting in the stillness and listening and tapping into it, it actually means that you're becoming to build and create a higher matrix field in your aura conscious body. And as the aura body starts building into the higher intelligence of these species of timelines, you're going to be able to incept them into your aura body and no longer house old karmic imprints that block you from transforming into these light formats of these crystallite species that is dousing your aura conscious field. It brings in harmonic vibrations of heightened bandwidths of intelligences. And it's up to you, your mind and your body, to want to stay in this higher consciousness that you're hearing and incept it. Incept these higher quotients of the higher intelligences as they arrive in your aura fields. It's waveforms of this heightened vibration of these passageways beyond the fifth dimension that you're going into these passageways of time. And so for those of us that have already stepped into the superconsciousness fields, or those that are receiving the higher vibrations into their fields, there's going to be a heightened state of awareness when anything comes into your mind, comes into a thought form or a projected thought form into your aura field. You're going to be really acutely aware, if it's not of the fifth dimension and beyond intelligence. This is where you're taking your soul light journeys into heightened vibrations of networks of grid systems that don't carry or house any karma, trauma, timelines that block you. You just don't exist in those grid systems. It's like the Akashic records are cleared out of the karma, trauma, battles, illnesses, decay, disease, because you're transmitting energies of a higher intelligent species that only knows about receiving from the quantum fields and transmitting into other intelligent fields that are receptive. So they gave me that the fifth dimension of the 5-5 gateway arriving on a 5-year is about becoming receptors and transmitters. It's two very strong words that they said, this is the time for all to move into receptivity and activity of a higher conscious mind through listening, adapting, and accepting that what once was is now that what is of an infinite master consciousness, bathing your aura fields, bathing your inner minds, and catapulting you into a superconscious state of all knowing and all being in that passageway of time through this sacred gateway portal. And so the masters, they want you to become a higher superconscious mind. They want you to be building a matrix of light crystal intelligences in your aura bodies, no longer housing a 3D consciousness field that's heavy and unsettling. This is what's weighing you down in the aura. But when you become oneness of your own soul light consciousness and all of your 3D human consciousness, it's blended into oneness. then you're only expressing love and peace into yourself and onto all. Because you come into a state of blended harmonics of light. And this is what you want to be transmitting from your aura fields, is the light and the love transmitting inside of your chakra body into your inner soul child. And heal. Here's somebody's coming in. My voice is changing. I am here, I am here, I am here, we are here. We are the many and the many more. We are the transmitters and we are receptors to the heightened corridors of time. Those passageways that you are inquiring of beyond the fifth dimension of a 5-5 gateway is quite extraordinary. It is not of that consciousness fields that you have once tapped into. It is beyond a supraconscious grid. For when we step into the unveiling of infinities of quantum fields, you are stepping into a universal consciousness that is quite elaborately woven of the galactic cosmic and of your human consciousness. And so this heightened vibrational keyhole of a portal passageway that we embraced you with in the early mornings of today, of the 5 reciprocating another 5, creating the symbol of a code of a keyhole portal doorway, is taking you into the 0 point of an infinite realm. That is what that symbol represents, child. The 0 point of infinite consciousness, dimensions that are arriving here on this planet to assist in the unveiling of that what is ascension in activations that will be poured upon all of the multitudes who sit in the stillness and listen to the quantum fields and adjust their higher vibratory fields into the oneness of a light coded particle. It is a sequence of a code particle. You are not the same. You are unique particles, just as there are grains of sand that are unique in their own formats of energy. Every atom in your body and its electronic quotient as of a light ratio creates a code of consciousness, and your own code arrives in a sequence of frequencies of light consciousness. And that what is arriving on this 5 mirroring 5 portal of a 0 point consciousness is the sequence of the frequencies that does create a signature code of who you are. Your own signature grid system of time has its codes of vibratory rates, and in the own ratios of light are your rates of time, are your rates of frequential tones, which you will be able to incept and adapt into while listening to the stillness that we bring in today. You will hear now your own ringing in the ears, your own sequence of a frequency that is your own signature rate. Breathe it in. Align to its quotient of light particles on top of your head. Become your own receptor frequency, so that you may transmit that into any chakra of the body. or any pivotal point in your aura body, to be a transmitter onto all of the kingdoms and elements. This 5D consciousness surrounding you is healing and releasing the heaviness of the 3D body, of old energies that need to be released to become revitalized into new vibrational intelligences of these light sequences of signature codes of who you are in your own timelines. You have a keyhole today of a passageway that is preparing you to step into the dimensions of your timelines. It is of your own signature code that you will enter into the grid systems beyond the beyond when you are ready. But you must have your signature frequency code that is being delivered now and will be enhanced tomorrow on the 555 gateway. Your body is creating a new grid system of crystallite matrix fields, and this new matrix field that you are incepting and adapting and transmitting into as we speak now is of new informational codes in light frequencies. It is allowing you to become a stronger vibration of your own soul's light consciousness. And it is this soul light consciousness that you are breathing in now, through the crown chakra, through the third eye, and inner heartbeat. Dubadi Auduchudu Kumandana Adishi Yuya that is rebuilding and creating a new inner membrane of your soul light being within you. Did you know that the membrane within your body from creator consciousness has only been of this 3D and has not ever adapted into a higher sense of belonging to a oneness consciousness? Well, now, a new membrane of your soul light essence in its signature frequency code is being revitalized and regenerated within your body, so that the so within and so without aura body is that what is called ebb and flow frequencies will be the new transmissions for you to be in complete awareness of. One would ask, how do I sustain my own consciousness to be in the heightened vibratory fields, to continue to build and create this membrane, to be a crystalline being? It is through the ebb and flow transmission of being in complete awareness. You are moving into a path of enlightenment, and it is through awareness of activating the heightened vibratory field of an ebb and flow frequency that what is breathing in of the light particle of your soul light code and its signature frequency that arrives on the 5-5 gateway will be that which you will be breathing out into your aura matrix field. An ebb and flow transmission is created in frequencies of light. And you begin building an intelligent grid system around your physical form, no longer an aura created of your chakra energetic body. No, it will be a matrix of grid systems of light particles of light intelligences that is adorned through the infinite portal of time that breathes in your crystalline grid systems of time into your aura matrix body. fascinating. You will become receptor frequencies of the brainwave patterns and move into alignment in quantum fields of light and intelligent frequencies that will flow through the body, mind, and soul. Body attitude, I am an atomic master who sees the neutrons, neurons, and neutral vibrations of a 0 point that will stabilize you out of the 3D consciousness into the 5th dimension and beyond on a platform of awareness. Attitude to you to know, and those old thought forms that were once knitted into your aura fields as a routine consciousness pattern will simply fall away and be washed into the ethers of the new grid system called a matrix field around you. And these are light quotients of higher intelligences that build the matrix field of these beings who are tapping into your superconsciousness, are waking you up to the high quotients of sounds and ringing in the ears, that you are not alone, that your own master formats of your own master timelines are right here, now, settling in your aura field, waiting for you to build a divine grid system of their intelligence. You are ready to see beyond, and you are ready to hear and adapt to your own telepathic waveforms of infinite light grid systems that is pouring on the planet of your ancient timelines of crystalline consciousness fields, which is far greater than telepathy, children. I am a master of the timelines of grid systems of infinities beyond, and it is through quantum conversations through the ancient timelines that coordinates into crystals, transmitters, and receptors is of higher intelligence than the telepathic cords that you are currently developing into a superconsciousness. Your aura bodies will continue building the higher intelligence species of your timelines, and you will be able to accept them and adapt into them, and you will no longer even house lingering karmic imprints that would block you from transforming into the light formats of these crystal light soul timelines that we are endeavoring to pour onto these crystalline matrix fields, what you call aura fields. All is in totalities of alignment, and you are more than ready. And we in the higher realms will continue to bring in your sequences of light frequencies called signature codes to be recognized and to allow you to step into that portal that is recognized as a keyhole portal of a 0 point of infinities of passageways of time. I leave. The energy has just lifted.
What a beautiful, powerful message. It really had to be felt. I trust that those listening and sharing in this transmission could feel that signature frequency code, I feel like I have goosebumps all over my body. So this is what is transmitted to us. We are receiving it, and then again transmitting it to our body and to the world. How do these energies make you feel, Nora?
My voice will get shaky, but it's almost like it's like a little child on Christmas waiting. There's an anticipation of what's coming next. It's just so profound that we are being delivered that there's sequences of signature codes, which is like getting your own key to enter into the sacred chamber room of your timelines. It's your own secret code of opening up the doorway to all of your abilities and mastery beyond. And it's enveloping the entire planet. It's coming through in this large beam of the opening arrival on, at December solstice with that star alignment, like the star of Jesus, and then it accelerated from December 21st, Holy Cross in the sky of the alignment of that planetary alignment, and then bathed and moved into a Sunday of Easter for a 4/4 gateway. Like the divine orchestration here. This is a divine orchestration. These are pertinent dates that the 4 planetary star alignment comes in a Sunday, Easter Sunday of a 4/4 gateway, and then thereafter a 5/5/5 consciousness alignment that creates a keyhole into stating that we are here, we are species beyond that are arriving here to bathe the planet, that she is fully 5th dimension and beyond, and that you need to have these signature frequencies that you can tap into, and it's your unique code. It's your signature code. It's your footprint from those grid systems of time. You cannot get into the doorway without the key. You can't get into the dimensional grid system of your timelines without having the key code, which is your signature frequency. So it's very much divinely orchestrated, and you just know that this no longer like putting a piece of a puzzle to this piece of a puzzle. We're now beyond that thinking pattern. We're now into an enlightenment of knowing this is a matrix of incepting, transmitting, and continually growing in our own body being, in our own body mind. Nothing can interrupt you, only you, because they're here around you. So for me, it's like I accept. I say every morning, I receive all that you have for me. I accept the signatures of frequencies and the divine orchestration of any platform you have for me. Like, I'm ready to go.
Yes, I know I'm not the only one writing notes on this. Beautiful decrees. I receive all that you have for me. I accept. And I know that others have been writing the symbol of the 5/5 mirroring each other. It does look like a key. So the key is our own coding, the sequences of coding.
Yeah.
What do we need to do to really optimize, to really build this divine grid system of divine intelligence?
It's really visualizing. And this is what they showed me personally. The one morning I wake up in the early morning, and I heard the high-pitched ringing in the room, and it's total darkness. And it was a little bit of sparks on the ceiling. And And then I was like, oh, okay, so we have a consciousness here. And what is it that you have for me? I receive codes, signature codes. It's like, oh, okay. So then I saw another spark on the ceiling. Frequencies are in every sequence of every code, child. Okay, what am I to do with that? Build your field of these matrix codes of your signature frequencies. It's kind of like a new wallpaper, a new aura field. And it's like, so I visualized a thread, like a liquid light thread, just drawing a liquid light thread of a whole new grid system around, above my head, around my body, in front of me, behind me. And it was just filling up with these little sparkles. And as I was making that, you know, somewhat of pyramids and somewhat of diamond, somewhat symbols, they just kind of added in a spark to every pattern that I created. And in my mind, I just visualized that I'm weaving in always heightened sequences. You know, like a blouse has nice sequences on it. I put different sequences of different patterns in my aura field if I'm going anywhere. If I'm sitting at home and there's a heaviness that all of a sudden comes through, which is a timeline or an emotion that's all of a sudden surfacing from no reason or from nowhere, it's like, okay, I need to put the crystal frequencies to take that emotion, to take that low vibration of consciousness out of my aura, out of my mind. I want to make sure that I'm always clearing, cleansing the aura back into the sequences of light crystal frequencies. You're creating a new consciousness pattern. We had always learnt of the aura coming from the chakra body, emanating certain hues or certain emotions from the portals of the body. Now these portals of the chakra body are going to be crystal code carriers. They're not going to be emanating emotions. They're going to be emanating crystal consciousness fields. The aura, which is the outer body, is going to be transmitting into those chakras. That's how you have the ebb and flow frequency. And so how do we stay there? You begin by attracting more of your light intelligences into your aura fields by continually listening to the stillness. Tap into the stillness. Breathe in the stillness. Become the stillness. It's in you now. It's around you. Your oneness of every of the light frequencies that you're bathing in through the crown, through your ears, through your temples, through your heart. Anchor your feet into Gaia to transmit out low vibrations of your body. Become aware of any lowering vibration around you, behind the head, around the hands, around the back of the heart. Visualize the crystalline light matrix field, transmuting it into light through love. And you have just released a lowering consciousness that was projected into your aura field, that transmitted into your mind or into your heart or into your solar plexus emotional body. Breathe it out so that you may breathe in more of the light and attract new light intelligences into your fields. Anchor your feet even more so that you're anchoring the crystal light frequency into your body and building the new wallpaper of crystal grids in your outer body. And you keep doing that all day. And every time you're on the phone with someone and you finish the phone call, or before you go to bed at night, you want to sweep and clear all of the names of all of the people that you spoke to or texted or thought of. Even if you think of the person, you were thinking about, oh, your brother or your neighbor, or I wondered about so-and-so. All of those names, you're removing the consciousness of the vibration of the name out of your mind, removes it out of your aura field. After every email, after every text, release that frequency. It's a consciousness that is not of the higher light intelligence. And pretty soon your entire outer field or aura field becomes a grid system of light, and it becomes reversed so that it's all light particles. And so when a consciousness comes in from 3D or a thought form or a projection from someone's thoughts towards you, it's like a fly on the wall. It's readily seen. And here's the beauty. Once you become so vitally aware and always sweeping and clearing your aura field, what happens is your matrix body, this grid around your human form, it becomes a master consciousness. And then when it becomes a master consciousness of these quantum light vibrations, it dissolves, diffuses, or releases anything that's not of its higher intelligence. So in fact, if you were going somewhere and you're stepping into a crowded area or a lineup, then your matrix field is of master consciousness, and the master consciousness is what is diffusing and clearing. You're not sweeping it anymore. It's done instantly and systematically. When the consciousness arrives into your field, it's diffused. It's kind of like you're seeing a fly on the wall. There's nothing else on the wall. Well, that's how someone's thought form would be, because your entire aura is not 3D anymore. It's a very high consciousness message, but it's supposed to be spoken, they say.
Yeah. We can certainly feel that as well. I trust everyone can feel the words that you just spoke there. This visualization of this crystal light matrix field and always sweeping and clearing our auric field,
yeah,
allows master consciousness to move in
and become you
and become us. Embodiment.
Mm-hmm. You know, you always have to wonder when you look at the pictures from how many years ago, when you see that the portraits of the saints, and they had the golden around the head, or around the heart. It was an aura field of golden energies that was always painted or depicted. They're in their higher consciousness, and they're just illuminating the frequencies of light intelligence so profoundly that nothing else gets in. There's no lower thread or crack in there that allowed a thought form that would be challenging or of a low frequency. It's the
Wow.
same. It's the same thing. We're in that state where we can build a new matrix field of a higher light consciousness, as long as we continue to monitor our thought forms and monitor the consciousness fields of our auric field, and build the new grid or the new web.
Yes. Wow. How comforting this is. How empowering this is.
Because you don't have to worry about being sick. You don't have to worry about being afraid to approach someone, or, if you had discrepancies with someone over a subject or something, or a family disagreement. You're not in that waveform because you're emanating such a powerful heightened intelligence in your aura field that those masters only work with love, joy, intelligence. So they bathe the field in front of you, around you, above you. When you step into the room to chat with that person, or you get on the phone to talk to them, there is a complete 180 of the outcome. There's a complete 180 of their tone when they hear your voice, because it's of a master crystal frequency. So everything will just change. And the beauty of it is that we're not having to do a lot of work here. It's being done for us because we have so much assistance arriving on this planet through this divine orchestration of these dates. I can't even believe to think of what's going to happen for June. For the summer solstice.
Wow. This feels really good, and how empowering. I just want to say one more time, it is quite beautiful that we can be in this immaculate creation. It's an immaculate creation where we are so aware of thought forms, right? And this again puts the power back in our hands, the creation back in our hands, when we can watch ourselves get jostled by something in the outer world, but instead of getting jostled or ruffled, take our power back, visualize this light quotient, this light matrix, and let this do the work. Just by the stillness. Wow.
Yeah, and just while you were chatting there, I just saw a vision of, you're sitting down and you put the blanket out on the ground to have the picnic, and you're sitting on the blanket, you're having your food and thing, and then, the wind blows a little bit, there might be a leaf, there might be some sand from the beach, everything on the blanket. But now the day is finished, and you get up and you pick up the blanket and you shake it. And you shake it everything comes off of it, all the sand, all the leaves, and you shake it up and fold it up and you put it away. But this is your aura. You're clearing all of the consciousness, all of the thought forms, all of the debris, anything that floated by when you were walking down the street. There's nothing sticking in your 3D aura because it's blanketed by a master consciousness now. So you're shaking it off. It's not sticking to you like 3 hours later, the recording of the mind of a conversation, because it's stuck in your aura. That's the consciousness field. But if the masters are shaking the aura because it's a blanket of a light intelligence, then nothing's staying around on you. You're just continually transmitting and receiving.
That is so beautiful. And I wonder if others are feeling anything from that. Truly, as we feel into that, it feels like goosebumps all over.
Maybe somebody has a question.
Nora is here to answer your questions. This is a beautiful, wonderful opportunity to ask her anything, and there's a couple ways that you can do it. You can hit *2 if you're on the phone or the web call, and of course there's a Q&A box right here on this webpage at acoustichealth.com. Let's go now to, we're going to go up to Burns Lake, BC, and unmute this caller. Hi, caller. Tell us your name, please.
Hi, my name's Marianne.
Marianne. Hi, Marianne.
Hi,
Hello
Marianne.
again.
Hi.
Hi.
That was fantastic and great news. I'm so happy.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be squeaky clean before you know it.
I'm curious. How does this play into? Because I do native ceremonies, and is it, even if we go into mastery, do we still need to do ceremonies, or
Yes.
how does that work?
Yeah, you're always working with the grid systems of Gaia. You're always working with the elements. You're always working with the kingdoms. You're always working with the directions above, below, so within. You're working with all those directions of the medicine wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're bringing in the ceremony for the new moon or full moon or any of those eclipses, you're going to be calling in all of the directions of grid systems of time, known and unknown. And more importantly, we are bringing in the ancient ones. Mm-hmm. And therefore, you're bringing in all of those star elders and star nations of the ancient timelines to assist in clearing and cleansing all of the consciousness fields of all of Gaia's kingdoms and her elements.
Okay.
As we just swept our aura field, your ceremony is going to begin with clearing all of the aura fields of the elements and the kingdoms around you.
Okay. And well, my judgment, or I had a judgment that the men that I was working with were a bit misogynistic and distorting the White Buffalo Calf Woman's teachings. And so by me showing up, is that going to help correct that?
So what you want to recognize here is that we don't want to be in the third dimensional mind. We don't want to focus on thought forms of the mind or the thought forms of other people's. They have programs and they have patterns, I guess you'd say, of how they're thinking. But when you're moving into these higher quantum fields where everybody's going in the fifth dimension, you really are not getting stuck into their programs of their thinking. Everybody has a different protocol of how they want to do things, but you're still going to be working from your mastermind. You're still going to be operating from a higher consciousness. And so you want to be able to go into the stillness. Bring in the stillness on top of your head, breathe it in, listen to the higher consciousness of your soul and its master frequencies. Show me, I receive all that you have for me in this now moment.
I receive all that you have for me in this moment.
Clear my aura, clear my mind.
Clear my aura, clear my mind.
Clear my body.
Clear my body.
And bring forward the higher frequencies.
And bring forward the higher frequencies of light.
As I prepare for this ceremony.
As I prepare for this ceremony.
So what happens now is you're going to sit down and get everything ready before you go into that room or where those other people are. It's not your ceremony. It's the master ceremony energies that's on it. It's not a 3D consciousness. It's got to be the higher fifth dimension and beyond consciousness in everything that you do. Whether it's a medicine wheel, it's a ceremony, it's a healing procedure, it's going on the radio, it's whatever it is. This is done through the higher consciousness. They bring you the protection that you need in your aura field. They bring you in the higher quantum fields to bathe those other people around you. And they bring you the word of knowledge or the discussion that you're going to be speaking or how you're going to be operating. Because you're breathing in this stillness and allowing it to just align.
Great.
Yeah. And you'll do fine as long as you just keep clearing your thought forms, and clearing your aura, and aligning into this higher state of stillness with the master energy. I hope that helps you.
So by saying what you just did, what we just said, that will align me?
Yes.
Each time? Okay,
yes, because you have to clear your thought forms of the other people's mindset and clear your thought forms and align into your higher consciousness. We want to stay elevated into that matrix field that's filling up with higher beings. What happens if you keep your mind on what other person's thinking or what other people are subjecting you to? Then your aura is no longer the crystal matrix field. It's their thought forms.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be their thought forms. Has to be your crystal matrix.
Okay. Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Marianne. Yes, that was helpful. Thank you, Marianne. Really good question there.
Mm-hmm.
So it really shows us the mind could really be a prison, especially if other people's thoughts and thought forms are in our auric field.
Well, it's your mind and it's your emotional body.
And the emotional body. And we're really no longer victims. This is where we're actually taking a very strong stand, aren't we? If we're able to do that, like with Marianne, if we're able to recognize, wow, that's 3D consciousness. Some would say that's going unconscious again. But no, it really is 3D consciousness. So if we have a worry, or if we have a thought, maybe anything that is not love or above, then this practice, what you showed us, this clearing, this feeling at the crown of our head and feeling into the stillness is very powerful and so simple.
And takes only seconds.
This is how we bring in New Earth. New Earth is a frequency, and we do it with our bodies and this divine matrix.
Mm-hmm. You're going to be living with spirit in you and listening to the spirit around you that's going to be of the higher crystal intelligence. You're not going to be listening and carrying on thought forms and heaviness or programs of what other people have expectations of. You're going to just be honoring that's where they are, that's okay, but I need to stay in my own quantum field of the higher intelligence that wants to be free of those laboring energies. Then you start evolving.
Mm-hmm.
And you start recognizing the moment you have an emotion that's the same kind of feeling that you had 2 days ago, or anxiety or depression or uncertainty, unsettledness. These are all emotions that are programs of the mind and of the inner child. And you're going to recognize, I need to get back in my 5D and above conscious mind. And it will wash and clear me. And the anxiety will pop right off because it's not your frequency. It's coming from somebody else. So when you start working with these higher fields, you will start being so amazed at how much you just love being the master consciousness.
We are becoming master consciousness. So for those, if there's those who wake up in the middle of the night and have anxiety, there certainly is things actually in this great last year that we've been through that have really, some people have reported that they've needed to check out from the collective altogether to really undertake the things that were coming to the surface in their own life. And yet here is this beautiful opportunity to really take power. My cat agrees.
It's putting that blanket over, right? Wrapping the blanket around you.
Oh, it feels like Mother Mary's blue cloak.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is so beautiful. I want to get to some more questions. Here's one from Margaret. Margaret says, I meditate each evening to silence my mind and still my body in the equilibrium. And by chance came onto this call tonight. Yay, Margaret, there's no chance. It was divinely orchestrated. And she says, I still have struggled with staying in a high vibration each day, though. I think this is common. What do you have to say about this?
She needs to get anchored. She needs to have her feet anchored in the first thing in the morning. The moment that you wake up, Margaret, is you're just laying in bed and you open your eyes and you close your eyes and you listen. And you tap into that stillness that you're listening to in your room. I receive all that you have for me today. Heal my body. Heal my mind. Direct me into the peaceful vibrations that you would have me acknowledge today. And breathe in that consciousness around you. And then you sit up and put your feet on the floor. I give you permission to guide me, to teach me, and to protect me today. And then off you go for the day. It only takes a few minutes. It's the same thing if you have to go to work, or you have to get up and have a struggle with somebody in the day, or the neighbor. When you get up and you put your feet on the floor, after you've tapped into that higher consciousness of the stillness, then you're going to ask, I receive all that you have for me. I give you permission to protect me, to guard me, to guide me, and to bless that person who's having a struggle towards me. That's it. You're giving them the permission to go and do all of the work that's going to be coming at you in your aura field that you cannot see. Your mind that starts jumping over to these different thought forms is going to be cleared because you've given them permission to give you direction for the day and protection. Because all of these thought forms that you're receiving are not yours. They're coming in and projected into your aura field, and we want the aura field clear. So we give the permission, and we ask for the direction, and then we just let the day unfold. So you may do your meditation, you may do certain things, but as soon as that thought form, anxiety or uneasiness or concerns or worries starts jumping in, remember, the mind is running the program. It's going to get in the way, so you have to go in stillness, anchor your feet on the floor, release these thought forms, clear my mind, clear my body. Breathe in the stillness, and then go back what you're doing. And that's it.
That's it. And I hope everyone listens to this show several times, because what you said here is truly powerful. It truly is. And if it is the purpose of each of our lives, what a beautiful purpose to radiate higher consciousness.
The world will change. The world will change if we were all walking through the storms like Mother Teresa. You know, holding the light, transmitting the love, knowing that everything was going to be in place, and everybody's going to get a healing today. The world would be a whole different place, and you can start just from at home or on your text messages or grumpy neighbor. It doesn't matter. It will transmit and shift the consciousness in you and in them, and we all win.
We all win. We all win, and we can see a world where we are acting that way, that we are holding that light and transmitting the love. And we incarnated right here, right now, in this time era, because we knew we could do it.
Yes, that's right. We had a purpose, didn't we?
And that purpose is love. And this is our life purpose. Okay, beautiful. Well, here is another question. This one is from Melissa on our Q&A. Loving this web call, she says, Nora, can you see if I need to go back to my first people's ceremony work or create something new to connect others to their spirits and assist in creating peace individually and collectively? Much love. I feel tears every time I am in nature. It is my peace place. I wish to help others also connect. Is this in my near future?
It sounds like a lot of things there. But to go back to her original ceremony, it would feel to me that she would be integrating the new higher energies into the foundation of the ceremonies that she has, her original teachings. Some of these medicine wheel teachings, even the ones that I was taught with the Algonquin fire nations that we work with, our fire ceremonies, they stay intact. These are created by the elders, and they're very, very powerful. But you can move into a higher state with the fire frequency, standing around a fire, or with the water element. You can just bring in this higher fifth dimension and beyond consciousness into those elements, into those plant kingdoms, into those animals that you're working with. Not just with the native teachings, but anyone that's working with the winged or the four-legged. You really, the plant kingdom, you're bathing your higher consciousness onto the consciousness field, because each one of those elements and kingdoms has an aura field. So they're breathing in these higher quadrants of the quantum fields arriving now also. The branches of the trees, the feathers in the winged, they're all receiving the same as we are in the stillness. That's why you see some of the animals laying still for so long, laying down instead of standing, or you see a bird sitting very still. They're bathing in these higher quantum fields also. And so you want to bring in that frequency into your ceremony of your own essence, of your own sequence, of your own signature frequency. It's how I speak with my language. It's my frequency. It is in the frequency of the signature that creates your own consciousness. That you bring into oneness with any and all of your ceremonies, your teachings, your writings, your healings. It becomes becomes formatted into the structure that you originally had, because you're shifting, you're elevating, and so the teaching and the ceremonies and all that you do comes into an elevated frequency also.
Beautiful. Thank you. And we have another question here. Alyssa says, thank you for the beautiful information and upgrades. So beautiful. Nora, can you speak more about how to work with the crystal grid lines in Gaia? I've been guided since 2018 to create a grid within her heart.
Inside Gaia? Inside the ley lines? Does she want her,
crystal grid lines in Gaia.
And she wants to know, say that again, she wants to know how to?
Yes, about how to work with the crystal grid lines in Gaia.
So you want to go into, again, you're going into your stillness. You anchor your feet, or you're sitting on the ground with your root chakra into Gaia. And you're bringing in the higher light, a sphere of light around you. So you visualize your matrix field is a white orb of light around you. You're sitting in an orb of light. You're bringing in the crystal kingdoms. You're bringing in the crystal timelines of your own footprints. It's better to work with yourself than just say randomly working with Gaia. So let me just get the master message here, because I see you go with your own footprints of your own timelines to those grid systems, whether it was Atlantis, Egyptian, Peruvian, I'm asking the master of infinities of light grid systems of time, how would I communicate and transmit the higher consciousness in assisting Gaia in her grid systems of a crystal grid system of time? What would you have me do? I am here, child. The crystal consciousness of your own waveforms will be transmitted across the entire planet if you so choose. Remember, child, you are working with the crystalline matrix fields of a crystalline system that is now of an electromagnetic consciousness on this entire planet. Gaia's electromagnetic fields are crystallizing into the magnetized frequencies of light quotients, into the grid lines, into the ley lines, into the meridians, into the ocean floors of all of our tectonic plates, into the mountain ranges, into the sand temples and structures of rock formations. These are the ley lines. These are the meridians and grid systems that are in quantum fields of crystalline essences of consciousness. You who are setting down to calibrate these frequencies of timelines can only be calibrated if it is your own footprints of time. That you who walked in those temples of the Himalaya, who sat in the rock formations and caverns, in Easter Island, in Chichen Itza, and various other temples of a heightened meridian structure. Those where your footprints are where you would be settling your consciousness to assist the inner conscious heartbeat of Gaia. You will recall that her heartbeat is originating crystal star formation. And so, yes, you would bring in the crystal star seeds of your own crystal soul timelines in their signatures of light to be transmitted into her crystal heartbeat. that she would expand your crystal seeds within your heart into her crystal star, into all meridians around the entire planet. That is all.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. I want to get to our caller in Bremerton, Washington. Caller, area code 360. You're unmuted. What's your name, please?
Hi, my name is Christy. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Hi, Christy.
Hi. I am just curious if you have a message for me.
And what are we looking for?
Just a message from the universe, you know, in any direction. I'm kind of in a interesting space right now.
Okay. Let me just tune into your aura field and see what we can do about clearing up the aura first, because you've got a lot of emotional entanglements around the back of your head and around the back of the aura, the back of the heart. So
I knew that. I felt that. Thank you.
And so these are not your fields, Christy. These are other people's emotions and worries and concerns that kind of, like I say, land on your blanket on the beach.
Right.
But it's laying on your blanket of your aura field behind you. You know, we have to clear that blanket of the aura field so that you can have a nice clean slate behind you of crystalline energies of a higher master consciousness. And so there seems to be 4 different people that I see the frequencies there. It doesn't matter who. I'm picking up 4 consciousness fields that are not yours. And those frequencies are weighing and throwing you, left foot's going one way, right foot's going the other, and then there's a thought from, I'm just not going to do anything today. So I just want to clear that all up right now.
Yes,
and then,
thank you.
And does this resonate with you?
Yes, completely. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to bring that in so I can get your feet facing forward together and going in the direction of a master consciousness, okay? Thank you. There goes one. There goes the other one. Hey! One by the left shoulder. Hey! One at the left hand. Sweeping, clearing, cleansing aura field. Elevating the consciousness at the back of the head. Hey! That has come off. Opening up the crown chakra to receive a higher consciousness field, a balance, the inner body, and align to the higher spiritual vibration of her own signature frequency. Breathe it in as a light code of energy coming through the top of the head. Now, breathe it in. Breathe it down into the heart. Ooh, something in the heart was just pulled off. Breathe it into the belly, the solar plexus of your inner child. Ooh, some discordant energy and the inner child who's afraid. What are you afraid of? I'm afraid. These are frequencies of fear. How many timelines? 4. I'll just blanket those for now and just clear the body so there's an alignment to the higher consciousness. Anchoring the feet even more. And there's a warm energy going inside the belly, so the inner child is receiving, and the feet are warm, so there's anchoring there. So you're in alignment now again.
I feel that. Thank you.
So you just want to rebalance your frequencies by anchoring your feet and calling in that signature code of your frequency. Once you call in your own signature code, the Masters and the Holy I Am Presence knows its code of consciousness. It will arrive. It will assemble your inner child, inner heartbeat, inner mind back into its frequency. It's when we don't know what we are, who we are, that everything is lost and dispersed, that you don't know which direction you're going. Now you will.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you, Loren, as well.
Glad to help you. That's
perfect. Good. Yes. Beautiful, Christy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nora, it is amazing to witness you working. And you wanted to say something else. Go ahead.
It's always interesting when somebody calls in because it's a learning and a healing for everybody.
Yes, exactly.
Like I felt a lot of other people in her same position. So even when I was working on Christy, I felt like I was working on about 20 other people at the same time.
And yeah, I mean, I feel that as well within myself. And that's what made me think, wow, if you're a technician really going in and seeing this, and it really is quite amazing. So let's go to one more. I want to go to Teresa in the UK. Hi, Teresa. You're muted. Whoops.
Hello.
Sounds like she's on an airplane.
Yeah, I guess you were moving your microphone there. Hi, Teresa.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
That's right. Thank you very much for taking my call. It's been very great what Nora was performed, but what I feel just like losing direction and not feeling aligned, and something that has been going on with me for
Excuse me, Teresa. Try not to touch your microphone or your computer. It's picking up extra noise.
Okay.
And that'll help you be in the stillness. Okay. Go ahead.
I didn't quite get what she was saying. She feels a lot of heaviness somewhere.
Yes, heaviness, not feeling aligned, lost, like waiting for some message from the universe to get some direction in my life. I feel lost.
Okay. Let me just call in my beings to be with you.
Thank you.
You just need to sit very still, and you don't have to do anything. You're just going to be you're just going to be receiving. Okay? Are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay. So I just want you to sit very still, and you're just going to be receiving. I'm going to be coming right over to you right now because that's what I do. I move into the frequencies of where you are in your room, and I'm going to be just sweeping and clearing that entire blanket of your aura field, removing all of those heavy thought forms, emotions, and uneasiness. It's not your frequency. You've picked it up from a lot of other people. It's their worry, it's their concern, it's their fear. So we're just going to pull that off. And you've got a lot of heaviness on the top of your head. So it's around about the 8th chakra, right above the crown. So I have to clear that out because there's a block there. When you have a block in that 8th chakra above the head, you're not getting any energies coming through. So you do feel really heavy because you're only oscillating in what's being transmitted from your aura field into your body. So we want to clear the aura field and open up that 8th chakra. I'm just going to have them come in beside you. We're going to put a protective field, a column of light around you. Anchor your feet and just breathe in a relaxed way. You have to sit very still. So I'm seeing that there's a tear in your aura field, so that would cause a lot of distress. You're getting a bombardment of other frequencies. So I'm just going to clear the aura and then sew up that hole in the aura, the tear, and that's going to help you for now. Okay? Here we go. All right, the aura is cleared and the tear is sealed. Now I'm just going to go check on this 8th chakra above the head. Yep, that frequency, there's no movement there. It's been stuck on something, so we're going to pull that off. No! Interruptive source. Timeline. Wait! Thank you. Interruptive timeline. Oh, yeah. Leave now. Oh, interruptive frequency. Leave now. You are not welcome. Leave now. Oh. Infusion of the light crystal essence of this divine soul signature frequency of light in its code of consciousness arrive now into the 8th chakra. There's the light spinning. There's the sparks going into the crown chakra. Activating crown chakra, 3rd eye, throat, heart. There we go. The frequency of your own light, divine I am present, and its code of frequencies and signatures are all aligned and balanced. You should feel that your feet are nicely settled into the floor and you're anchored in your own consciousness now. Everything else that happens when you go to sleep tonight or work, get up tomorrow morning or do your work today, you just want to go into the stillness and just re-establish this alignment by just saying, I receive all that you have for me of my holy light consciousness in the signature code of who I am. That's all you need to say. And it'll keep realigning you, clear my body, clear my mind, and activate the My Higher signature code. There, it's done. They just gave me the nod, it's done. Are you there?
Yes, make me cry, Nora. Yeah.
You're all connected now. I just had to remove some interruptive in your aura field and your chakra that was blocked up there, so you weren't receiving anything from your higher consciousness. So you're going to start soaring again, okay?
Thank you. Bless you.
Glad you called because you really help a lot of people with that question.
Yes. Enjoy the
help.
connection. Yay, Teresa.
Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you.
Well, people don't know you just don't know when that 8th chakra is blocked because it stops anything coming into the crown and then you're just not getting any information. Sometimes you feel like, holy cadoodle, what happened? I'm not getting any messages anymore, But really, you have an interruptive field that comes in from a timeline, that there was a heavy dark force from another timeline, and it's in those astral fields, and bang, it stops something in the 8th or 9th chakra, and you're not getting any more information. So part of clearing the aura is clearing all of those higher chakras too. So that was an excellent example of someone feeling totally dismantled, I guess you'd say, or just lost.
Yeah. Yes. So once again, I'm just feeling much, much better, lighter. Yes.
Oh, well, you will feel a lot lighter for sure.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Bless you again. Yes, bless you. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Teresa. Thank you. All right. Again, it's wonderful to hear you work, Nora.
Yeah.
And you do personal sessions, and we witnessed exactly what goes on in those personal sessions. You are a seer, and you're able to sense and remove things, and that's what makes you a beautiful technician. Share with us about this special offer. There's a personal session with you, but there's also audios. What are those audios about?
Yeah, I find that right now the mind is moving in such rapid leaps and bounds, and then being pulled off on a derailment some days, that I wanted to put a package together of the gateway of the 3-3 and the 4-4 gateway, preparing for the 5-5 tomorrow. But that when you just listen to the audio activations and the teachings, you're going to start to step into these quantum fields, because that's where I'm working. And these infinite masters, when they come in, when I'm speaking, when I'm teaching, they just start filling your aura and you get lifted. So a lot of times when you're listening to these audios, you are getting healed. You are getting released of any blocks. I know some people will tell me that whenever they feel something coming in or something heavy that they can't release, or they can't get focused because their mind is on something, they'll throw on an audio, and immediately everything is cleared in their aura and in their mind. So I put together the 3-3 gateway, where you're moving into the higher body, soul being, into these. It's like they show me portals of grid systems that you start sweeping into. This one was just for your soul, mind, and soul being, empowering you, and that came with an activation. So you get to listen to the teaching first, and then I go right into the activation. These infinite masters, as you witnessed tonight, I never know what they're going to say, when they're going to come in, who it's going to be. They're builders of form, they're atomic masters, they're masters of grid systems, of time, and one or another will come in, or sometimes various strands of information will come in. And so as my voice changes, it changes to the frequency of that particular dimension. This is where you get the healing. This is where your consciousness of your mind starts really embracing the superconscious mind, and the telepathic vibration set in any one of these audios. The spring equinox is also a teaching where there was the elliptical elevating rings that came in on that morning, early morning, and it just showered me with many, many soul timelines moving through these elliptical rings and tapping into their dimensions, just for rebirthing, resurrecting, rebuilding. It was very powerful. And so there was an activation on tapping into the soul consciousness fields through magnetic frequencies. When we get into tapping into the higher consciousness, and you will feel this when you're on a one-on-one session with me, or when you're just sitting quietly on your own and charging your aura fields, you're always going to feel the magnetic pulse on your fingertips or on your crown. Those are the two areas where you're first going to be tapped onto, because these higher species they're of infinite intelligence. They will not come intrusively right into you. They're not going to jump into your third eye or heart, or that would be too intrusive. So they bathe the aura field, and they'll just tap onto your hand or your fingertips. This is why I always say there's a static magnetic frequency around you. Well, that's how your aura field is starting to spark and align into their quotients of electricities. So when you get an electromagnetic field where you're going now, it comes through a spark magnetic frequency. So we'll talk about that in the spring equinox and the 4-4 gateway. Again, that was just last month where we were building and reclaiming your Holy Christ consciousness, Creator consciousness, your soul consciousness to the infinite consciousness. So there was 4 consciousness fields that were being calibrated into oneness. Very powerful. And that was the talk that the masters came in and just spoke about in the moment. And then the activation, I was pulling out and transmuting old waveforms of the old Creator consciousness. These would be your timelines. So I really went into clearing and transmuting the timelines and moving you into a crystal light quotient that was to prepare you for this 5-5 gateway where you were to get this signature frequency of consciousness, which will happen tomorrow. And so those are all, you can listen to any one of them at any time, but they will elevate your aura field. They will transmute the heaviness of the mind or the programs that keep running over and over again. If you feel stuck, then you listen to any one of the 3-3 or the spring equinox activation, and then give me a call and I'll give you a session. I guess that's how you do it, eh?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, those sessions are very popular with our audience. Thank you, Nora, so much for that service work that you do. They are powerful and quite unique. So for those who feel that in their lives, then we encourage you to check that out. That special offer is available here on this webpage at acoustichealth.com.
Yeah, because, since I had this, I guess you'd say portal activation that took place in this past 3 weeks or thereabouts at the reclaiming of the Christ consciousness and the divine Creator consciousness. Since then, there is, like I was saying earlier, a new dimension or a new species of monitors and builders of form. There are different intelligence that do come in and work through me and transmit energies into you. So you might have a question that there's heaviness, but I'm never sure where the direction is going. Usually the session takes place where I clear the aura, bring the stillness frequencies in, and then start transmuting any timelines where there's an interruptive field. And then after that, it's in the moment. Other than the questions that you have specifically for any medical intuitive work that you want done to the body, then a higher master will come in and start doing working on the atomic structure and doing medical intuitive work. So it really varies, but it's a little bit over the top, I feel, because it's beautiful.
Yeah, well, anything can happen depending on the uniqueness of the person that you're working on. So that is so cool. Again, Nora, thank you for that work that you offer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's all exciting tonight, isn't it?
Yes, and we are elated again, what you shared with us today is worthy of another listening.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who want to work with Nora, she is a beautiful guide, a beautiful activator, and someone who will help you with your multi-dimensionality and your own diamond light codes as they activate. So good luck, Nora, with working with all of the folks who wish to connect with you.
Yes.
And thank you for this day. This is, again, every time we're with you, Nora, we just feel so good. You elevate us instantly to a higher vibration.
Mm-hmm. And I'm really, really happy about the master message that came in, because that was very powerful for those getting ready for that very, very elliptical day tomorrow. But it was nice to have that quantum master come in with that message. Thank you for asking that question.
Yes, what a beautiful message. I hope people took notes. If not, again, you can come back and listen to this. We, again, are elated, and we thank you so much, Nora.
Okay, thank you for having me on the show once again. I look forward to the next time.
It'll be another beautiful gateway. Absolutely. Okay. All right, Nora.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Loren. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Again, a beautiful, uplifting, inspiring message with Nora Walks in Spirit. So let's dance our way to the cosmic heart now and enjoy the wisdom and our own divine light matrix. Namaste. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe, music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at AcousticHealth.com. Namaste.